Why did you form the Seventh Guards?
Um, well, I before I was in the Seventh Guards, I was in a unit called the 61st Naval Infantry Regiment, which was a Soviet Milsim unit that was dedicated to portraying the Soviet Marines uh, during the Second World War in a Milsim aspect, and I was part of that for a little while before I had made this, and they were a really cool unit, and it was very interesting to see the Soviet side of World War II portrayed in Arma and other Milsim stuff. Because you don't really ever see any Soviet units realistically, or any sort of Soviet reenactment groups on these Milsim type games. Given that I feel it's like a underrepresented and or explored area in Milsim, and I wanted to basically explore another avenue in Arma, which was the guards, as you can know, a more elite infantry slash, well, not just infantry, but more of an elite ground force unit type thing. And I felt being a guard or having my own unit that were the guards would allow me to essentially do that. And it was more so also spawned from my love of history, and I also really did like the Second World War, and especially the Soviet side of things. It, for whatever reason, has just always kind of caught my eye, and I definitely thought that, well, I enjoy Arma, and I enjoy the World War II scene, so I figured, why the heck not? So made the Seventh Guards, and here we are a year later.
So, uh, what's the story of the Seventh Guards from like start to finish, kind of thing? If you do,
Well, I mean, it's not the craziest story, but 25th of August, 2021 was when the guards were realistically officially opened. I mean, there was obviously planning and stuff like that beforehand, but me and a couple of friends of mine had come from the 61st because I'd played it with them, and then a couple of friends of mine who I hadn't played with, and I had asked about it, had joined, and there was about six of us in the very beginning. Playing one operation a week. We would play you know, uh, just thrown together stuff. We didn't really have any historical based missions per se. It was more kind of just we threw together whatever we wanted and kind of played, and it was fun. But over time, the unit kind of grew and expanded, with a lot of networking and recruitment and stuff like that, and also luck, a huge part with it. Through a lot of that, we managed to grow the unit. And I guess from now to then to now, it's not really anything too crazy. It was kind of just periods of recruitment and uh, you know things like that, and kind of led to where we are now. I mean, we've improved op making. We got a new Zeus slash mission maker who is dedicated to making missions. Pretty much the quality of the unit overall improved to where we are now, where we have over 80 members in the Discord. I think it's like 50 if you exclude uh, unit reps and other various other roles or people who are here for whatever reason. We have about, I would say, 18 to 19 per op, which compared to the six we had in the beginning is huge. And also, given that we're a newer unit, relatively speaking, being only a year and some change old, it's a pretty good journey. It's pretty good size to for what we have, honestly. Especially being that World War II units are a niche in the community already, and then being Soviet World War II, that's an even bigger niche, and yet we have quite a few people who enjoy it. So the story is nothing too crazy, kind of standard stuff. Started out small and grew through the diligent efforts of myself and everyone else involved through its life cycle, or its lifetime rather. So uh, nothing too crazy there, but definitely a nice thing that we're getting to experience. Because I think that if it continues the way it is, it's only going to get bigger. So I guess the rest of the story is yet to be told.
would you consider yourself proud on how big this unit has become?
Um, yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, like we had started off, a year ago with six people, maybe seven. In the very beginning, which it's a decent bit, especially if you're just starting. Because there's some people who start with just two people and go from there. But so we went from that 6, 7 people to the 20. We have now per op plus the people who are in the Discord who are in the unit. The 30, 40, 50 people. Um, it started off as something small, and of course, I had the ambitions to make it greater, to expand the unit. You know,
Yeah.
a year and some change later, we have essentially where we are now. The unit's is big, the biggest it's ever been, and it's continuously expanding. We have new people joining every week. We have a lot more media representation. There's Sade with his videos, his TikToks, and in the unit media we have a lot of clips. And there's a lot of people who take perspectives and clips from this, and they make a lot of really cool stuff with it. And honestly, the overall milsim side of things and the unit side of things is honestly amazing. But in tandem with that is the community aspect of the unit, which is probably just as, if not more, amazing. That one of the biggest things that I had in mind when I made the guards was to obviously I wanted a nice milsim unit, but in tandem I wanted a community that would be attached. That way, it wasn't just we all get together one day a week, play an op, and then we're done. I wanted something for people to, when they're not playing Arma on that day or whenever, they can play other games. For example, in the Discord, we've had people who stay in VCs for the entire day, it seems, playing various other games. I know Hearts of Iron is a huge one. I saw like a 9-player Hearts of Iron match. Um, One day, people will just hang out in VC, play various games, but we'll just chill. Um, and it's definitely nice to see that community aspect is extremely strong within the unit. People are making friends here. They're hanging out with people, for hours on end, just relaxing. And I'd like to think that it's definitely a nice thing that it's extremely nice that we have that community aspect, and it's definitely a good feeling knowing that like once we finish that operation that Sunday, we'll stay here for another 4 hours after that, and there'll be 9, 10, 11, 12 of us just screwing around, sending horrible memes and talking about the dumbest stuff you can possibly imagine. So yeah, I would definitely say that I'm proud of this unit and the people in it. Definitely a lot of really good folk here, and I think that I honestly, genuinely would not have it any other way.
And do you have a message for any new future recruits that may join this unit?
Yeah. Uh, if I am late, don't yell at me. um, but no, I just. On a more serious note, definitely it's fun. I think that it it's definitely a place. I think that if you enjoy Soviet history and you also kind of enjoy the more lax side of Arma and maybe kind of having fun, this is definitely the place for you. I mean, obviously, we do try to it is a mill sim, so we try to take it seriously, but we also do know how to have fun. And I think that it's definitely something worth looking into. I might be a little biased in that front, but definitely come check it out.
All right.